do today is give you a very brief overview of what is the multiple choice problem. I'm going to describe different forms that the multiple choice problem takes, try to give you a sense of what the consequences are of giving people multiple choices, why we experience those consequences, and at the very end, give some thought to what are some potential remedies. So, we live in a society in which we believe that the more choice, the better. Certainly that's it seems like an intuitive principle. It's an obvious assumption. And obviously, if you have more choices, the more opportunities you have to find that which is best for you. And certainly over the last 8 years, there have been numerous efforts, not just in the consumer market industry, but certainly even in terms of our government policy, to consider how to make more choice help Americans. So when you think about George W. Bush and the various different policies that he tried to promote, it often involved the key ingredient of giving people more and more and more choice, that more choice would improve our health care, more choice would improve our educational system, more choice would give people better social security or improve retirement savings for people such that we could all live a more comfortable life at the point at which we're waiting to die. Well, as I mentioned before, in the late 1990s, I did a JAM study. And this JAM study was done in an upscale grocery store. We didn't have as many upscale grocery stores in those days as we have now. Now they're much more commonplace and they're all over the place. Booth in this store where we either put out 6 different flavors of Wilkin & Sons jams or 24 different flavors of Wilkin & Sons jam. And we measured 2 things. First, in which case are people more likely to stop, the passersby that walk into the store, are they more likely to stop at the display? And second, in which case are people more likely, once given a coupon to give them $1 off a jar of jam, more likely to actually buy a jar of jam? So we had little codes behind these little coupons so that we could actually track their purchasing. And what we found in this study was that more people were attracted to the larger choice set, so that 60% of the passers-by stopped when they were 24 versus 40% stopped when there were 6 different jams. But when it came down to purchasing behavior, of the 60% who stopped when they were 24, only 3% of them actually bought a jar of jam. By contrast, of the 40% who stopped when there were 6 jars of jam, 30% of them actually bought a jar of jam. So in this case, they were 6 times more likely to actually buy a jar of jam when they were choosing from a fewer set of options than when they were choosing from a larger set of options. People have one-shot decisions. What happens when they have to make a choice from a larger choice set? The stakes become higher. They don't know how to choose, what to choose. They don't know what criteria to choose. They either rely on simplifying heuristics that might lead them astray, or they simply avoid making the decision altogether.